In today's video, we're going to question what I call the biggest myth in sales and customer service.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winteregg with Matterhorn Business Development, and this is CEO Dr. Greg Winteregg. And we are here today to talk about kind of some myths that are out there regarding customers.
The biggest myth of all myths, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's not a myth if it's true.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
That's a very good point.
That's a good point, actually. We're here to talk about the customer is always right.
Right.
Exactly. Now, I would say that the customer is not always right, but your thinkingness that you're there to serve the customer and make them happy, that is correct. You want to make somebody happy with your product or with your service.
But what this implies is if the customer is blatantly wrong, you're not allowed to disagree because you might blow the sale.
Right.
So let me give you, from my dental perspective, I'm sorry, I'm a dentist. I have these examples. So somebody showed me an x-ray on their phone that they had gotten from the dentist because things are digital now. And they had an infected tooth. And they said the dentist had recommended a treatment procedure, which I agreed with. But then the person said they went online and they saw some videos and someone said they handled this oral affliction with broccoli.
Seems reasonable.
This person said they ate a lot of broccoli and this went away. And it was really hard to not laugh out loud, but I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. And I explained why it wasn't going to work. And they walked away and they said, I think I'm gonna try the broccoli. I'm like, okay, that's good. But that customer is wrong. That customer is gonna be no more than wrong. And so the point here is you have to be willing, you have to be able to very politely redirect the customer's reality into actuality, like the way it really is.
Right, and that's the thing is that at times the customer is going to want or demand or need things that you can't provide.
Exactly.
You know, discounts, we've talked about this before. People want discounts. They want something done a particular way that you don't do. Well, it's okay to tell that person that it's not a right fit between you guys to do business with each other. There's nothing wrong with that. You wouldn't marry somebody that wasn't a compatible fit. It's okay to also not do business with somebody when there isn't a compatible fit in there and just simply say, listen, I'm not the guy for you. And they go, well, I can get it from this person at this price. It's like, great, you probably should.
And here's another great example of that. So we have a landscaper as a client, and he was telling us about this home where he went, and the lady had had new sod put in about 6 months ago, and all the sod was dead. So obviously the landscaper did not know what they were doing and gave her bad sod. So she's going to a different landscaper. And he walked over and he looked and he said, ma'am, sod is not going to grow in this area because there's too much shade. What was here before the sod? Well, it was ground cover, and she didn't really like the ground cover. So the customer was right. The previous landscaper showed up, gave her what she wanted, knowing the grass was going to die. Take the money and run. There's no referral that comes out of that.
No.
There's a bad online review that comes out of that. And so that's a one-time, one-hit wonder of a job. And the lady was moving on to the next landscaper. And her first question to my client was, why didn't the other guy tell me this? Well, because the customer's always right.
Exactly. So from a customer service perspective, if you can't change their mind,
Move on.
move on, because you don't want to be the guy to have to clean up the mess or
That's
to
right.
do whatever it might be. You know, there's even instances where you might have a superior product to your competitor, right? You have a superior product to your competitor and somebody says, you know, well, this is what I use. And they already have that product and they could buy yours from you, but why would they? They're happy with that product.
Right.
They like it. They think it's amazing. Good. Let them go.
Yeah.
You're not going to change their mind, and then you look like the bad person for trying to change their mind when it's not a problem.
Well, and if you sit there, now you're going to be critical of your competitor. Oh, that product is bad and blah, blah, blah. But they're happy with it. Well, then in that case, they are right.
Yeah.
Let them be happy with it. let it roll, move on down the road, because then you just look like the slimy used car salesman. You're trying to sell them something they don't need. You're bad-mouthing your competition. So yes, there are times when the customer is right. Like if you go to an auto dealership and you say you want to buy a black car, and then the sales rep is trying to sell you a white car because white is this and black is hard to keep clean, but okay, well, the customer can be right over that type of a decision, what color. But when we're talking about long-term performance of the product or the service, now, honestly, lots of times the customer's wrong.
Yeah. Usually they are.
And so you have to have the courage to sit there, look at them, and say, your reality, this is how this really works in this industry. And if they're going to get upset with you and walk away, then so be it, because that would have been a sale that would have come back to haunt you with an upset customer, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So it's okay to fire customers, right? It's totally okay to walk away from customers if you can't provide them what they want that's going to make them happy.
Yep.
Because if you just try and make them happy every step of the way, they're always going to keep wanting more and more and more and more and more and more. And then at a certain point, you're like, I would rather pay this person to just leave me alone at this point.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've done that. And it's not worth it. If you can't provide what it is that they need and want, don't try and compromise and try and do something that you can't do.
Just to get the close.
Just to get a close or a new customer or whatever. It's not worth it. And you're just going to make them unhappy in the end anyway.
Yep.
And those are the people that you bend over backwards for, and then they leave you the 1-star review on Yelp.
Exactly.
We've talked about this a number of times. It's always, that 1-star review is always the person that you've tried to do more for than anybody else, and they still backstab you.
Yep.
It's just not worth it. So is the customer always right? No. There are times when you take the customer's information and put it into, like you said, the car. I want this black one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this one is even better. Well, I want that black one. Okay, I'm going to get them the black car that they want because that's what they want.
Yep.
But if they need something or want something from me that is not going to be right for them or not going to work, I will not sell them something with them thinking that they're getting something else.
Yep.
So it's okay to fire people. It's okay to not do a job.
You got it.
Awesome. So, hope you learned something new here today. If you did, hit the thumbs up down below, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.